Hi, I'm Dana. I need to close my window, I don't feel good about talking. Hi, I'm Dana, and unless I edit the quickest that I have ever edited in my whole entire life, this video is going to be going up late, which doesn't really matter as long as it's on the day that I say it'll be going up, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, but they're normally up at 4:30 p.m. and I don't feel good when I post them any later. But today, as you may be aware of, falls on the 12th of the month. And the 12th of the month is when I moved into the house I'm currently in. I got to move to Yorkshire and everything got really good for me. It was all a good time. And the 12th of the month is when I do my little monthly tradition that I've created. And it's actually one of the most positive things I've done for myself beyond like moving to a nicer place and generally trying to be a person, putting lots of effort into making my life one that I like. On the 12th of every month, I go into town and I get pictures done. I'll insert it somewhere here. I go to a little there's like a little 80s photo booth, and as soon as I moved here I was like I need a reason to use my little 80s photo booth. So on the 12th of each month I go and I do a little photo strip, which it's become like a really fun thing that I really appreciate myself for consistently doing. It's something that I really intend to do for the entire time that I live here, and I really like that I'm gonna have a monthly journal of this is me, this is Dana each month. I think it's really fun because it's the day that I pay my rent, because it's the day that I moved in and everything. It means that that's when I'm okay, I know what I'm doing with my money now. I get paid a few days before, I put out my bills, I order food, I pay the things that I need to have in the month, and then I know what my free spare money is for the month, and I use some of that to go out on the 12th and do something nice for myself. And I've been able to mix it up every month because the tradition of it is just that I'm getting my pictures done and doing a nice thing for myself. So a lot of the fears and the concerns and the anxieties and just the generally not feeling right that I often experience when I do something out of my routine, it's not there. It is the routine. The routine is to do the tradition. It fits in perfectly, and it removes a lot of I really struggle with doing things outside of my routine. I really struggle with doing new things. I really struggle with implementing something that isn't happening regularly. And I get that there's a point to which doing it every month is regular, but I mean if I'm not doing something weekly, I feel like I fall out of practice with it, and it becomes something that I can find quite difficult to re-implement into my day-to-day life, my routine. I find it difficult to get up that morning and be I'm doing this thing today, and it's not different, whereas the fact that I have this thing that I do each month, and I call it my tradition instead of my routine, it just makes it all feel a bit nicer and a bit more fun, and it takes away a lot of the negativity and the fear that I feel around change and around things being different and around not doing my normal daily routine. And there is also a level to which I'm getting up in the morning and I'm doing my dishes, I'm scooping my cat's litter tray. There is not a day in my life that I don't have some level of my routine, because I very deeply need it to remain a remotely stable person. But it's nice to allow myself times that I can step out of that routine as well. And keeping it loose for myself is also a massive benefit, because it means that like today I went to Sainsbury's and I got myself a little treat to have for my dinner, and I hooked myself up a meal deal, and then I went and sat down by the river and had my little fucking wrap and my Trek bar and my little bit of fucking Lipton tropical iced tea. And I just sat by a river for half an hour and listened to the birds and the water and watched it, and that's not one that I normally do. But the point is that I'm doing something nice for myself, and that was what I felt like doing this month. That was the thing that I was feeling good about, And on months when I feel a little bit more brave, months when I've had a quieter time, the last month block from 12th to 12th kind of thing has been, I've done a lot of things, and I've also cancelled a lot of things and felt very anxious about a lot of things, and it's been definitely the most busy month that I've had since I've moved. So I did a lot. Okay? So my little tradition for this month was more of a quiet one and more of a restful and reflective sort of one. But in previous months, there's one cafe in town that I really like to go and get the tofu scramble, and it's just delicious. And I read a book, or do a little bit of crochet, or just, entertain myself and have a nice time there. Part of what made me set it up as a thing was that I live in a place that has a lot of little coffee shops, a lot of little cafes, a lot of really cutesy little places to be able to take myself. And I get really, really fucking nervous about going into new places, especially being vegan. I feel very awkward when I go into a place to get a coffee and a cake, and then all I can actually get is an oat milk latte, and they've charged me an extra 50p for my milk, and I can't get any cake. So it started as a way for me to go into new places and try something new. And like even with the place that I was going to, the first few times I had a tofu scramble, and then I was like, that was when I started then going and trying different places, to be fair, but I intend to go back there at some point for it and try something new there. And it just feels like a way to really give myself a safe space and a safe way to try new things and do something new. And I also really like that it's a way to appreciate where I live, because I feel like I've semi gotten to a place where I'm not so bad with going to the surrounding areas. Like I'm in Halifax quite a lot. I go to Hebden Bridge like semi-regular, like every other month. And I am having a little phase right in the here and now that I am struggling with public transport a little bit. And I actually really want to get a push bike, but I also like, I can't figure out how to buy a push bike because I need a cheap second-hand one, but all of the ones that I've seen are either like falling apart and absolute shit, or they're like way too far away for me to go and pick up, so I don't really know what I'm doing in regards to that. But I do really want a push bike, and I think that would really open up a lot of like, not far away but not super close places to me, because I am just, I've had a fair few times now where I think I'm going to take myself off somewhere and go and do a certain thing, and then I get to the bus station and I'm like, oh fuck this, actually I'm just going to get a Greggs sausage roll and go home because this is actually far too much and I'm very overwhelmed. I'm feeling very scared and afraid I don't want to do it anymore. So it would be nice to have a non-public transport option to be able to get myself out and go to places. But I think I need to decide on a date for it, but then I get very like, oh, well, what if something falls on that date? Maybe I just choose like the second Wednesday of every month or something. I need to choose a date, and that should be the time that I go for my big walk. I think that's the easiest way to keep that being a regular part of my life, because I fucking love going for big walks now that I've moved. I live in the #1 most beautiful place in the whole entire world, and no one can tell me otherwise because I see it with my eyes and it's fucking gorgeous. And I've seen pretty places alright. I do think it's actually a massive amount of classism that makes people be like, oh yeah, and you've seen stuff, have you? I've seen the Grand Canyon, I've seen the Eiffel Tower, I've seen the Santa Monica Pier, I've seen incredible fucking ruins in Turkey and gorgeous beaches there. I have actually seen quite a lot of things. I have actually lived in 3 different countries. Yorkshire is the #1 most stunning, gorgeous, beautiful place I've ever seen in my entire life, and I honestly believe it's the #1 most beautiful place in the whole entire world. So I deeply, deeply feel like I should be taking advantage and doing big walks. And it's a struggle because I have a lot of fucking chronic pain and a lot of low energy and a lot of like struggle with living my day-to-day fucking life, never mind going on like a 3-hour walk and then coming back with achy legs and needing a bath. Like it is actually quite a lot for me to go and do that. I do a lot of my little like 20 to 40 minute walks. I try really hard to like stay healthy, move my body. Like it's an ongoing fucking work in progress. I do my best. It's not always there. I am very aware that exercising is good for your body, and especially being able to take like fairly leisurely walks. I am a really quick walker. Part of me really likes walking, and part of me is very genuinely pretty sure that I walk so fast because I just want to be done with walking already. Just get me to where I'm fucking going, like Christ. So it's a balance to be found. But I think I need to make it a tradition that like on one day of the month, and that's the thing, is I do need it to be like on a specific day, because like I say, the reason that my other little tradition has helped me so much is that it's like I didn't feel like doing it today. I was on FaceTime to all my friends earlier being like, I don't really particularly want to do it, but I know that like once I've done it, I'm gonna feel fucking good about it. I'm gonna feel good about myself, I'm gonna feel good about the area that I live in and my choice to move here, and it really just like, I feel fucking fulfilled by life. It's lovely, like it's absolutely delightful. And if I was leaving that to be like, I'm just gonna do that once a month at some point in the month, I don't really know when I'd get it done. I have a lot of times that it feels like months and years are just sort of like slipping through my fingers. I don't really know where they've gone or what I've done. And having my like little like on the 12th of every month I do this. And I also, you should follow me on Instagram because I also make like a little collage every month of what my like last month in Yorkshire's been like, and I intended it for the rest of my life. The rest of my life I'm gonna be like, I've spent 793 months in Yorkshire now and I still fucking love it. Like I do my little collage on Instagram, and having that like, honestly I think there's lots of really nice, healthy and good ways to use the internet, and I think there's a lot of ways that I've found to do that. These videos are like better than any fucking therapy have been for me, quite frankly. And doing my little collage on Instagram every month and having that little bit of time to like reflect on my month and look back on the things that I've done and the people that I've met and things I've created, and just it's definitely given me a lot more perspective on what I actually get done and what I do and like who I am as a person, quite frankly. I feel just a lot more settled in like every fucking aspect of like life that's possible to be settled in like where I'm living, the way that I am as a person. I feel like everything is settling in and making roots and being really good, and like I feel like having a little monthly tradition, a little monthly routine, whatever the fuck it is you want to call it, has had a massive step in that. And I think that just adding more things like that, because I've mentioned before that I go to a like crochet knitting club, and that's a monthly thing, and I'm fairly sure it is on like the first Thursday of each month or something, but I haven't actually paid that much attention. I just see the date on Instagram and like make note of it. But having monthly things, I think, is a massive benefit to me right in this moment. I have talked previously about how I had weekly and bi-weekly things, and I have mostly fallen to the wayside with them, to be honest with you. It did turn out, I don't think it's so much that it's a bit much for me, but I've had so many other things on that having things that feel like some sort of pressure to go to just really haven't been good for me, like the last like month to 6 weeks. So I have like slacked on that a lot, but I do intend to get back into it when I feel like it, quite frankly. And I feel very lucky to have spaces that I do feel like I can just skip out on when I need to and then re-enter when I want to. But I also really treasure having my own time and really treasure being able to go out and explore nature at my own pace and just explore and look around a bit. Oh, this path looks fun, I'm gonna go down there. Like it's just something that I think I would really benefit from doing a little bit more. Like even yesterday I had a really like sad couple of days because I'd had to cancel some plans with friends because I just like physically couldn't get myself to like be a person. Like walking to the corner shop made me feel like I was gonna pass out. It was just way too fucking hot. So then I just felt really sad that I'd missed out on doing this thing with like new people that I want to befriend, and taking myself out into nature and just hanging around and watching some wildlife and stuff did an absolute world of wonder for me. And like I said, I live in the most beautiful place in the whole entire world, so I feel like I should be trying to get myself a little bit farther afield a little bit more often. And you know, I'm saying should as well, not just out of like pressure of like I've moved here and I've got to do it now, but because of the impact that it has on my mental health and the way that I feel about like myself and the world and just like everything in general. I've lived in some shithole places, I really have. I know that Huddersfield doesn't have the best of reputations in a lot of circles, but it does have some places of like absolutely stunning nature like that. All of Yorkshire does, as far as I've seen, you know. And it's a brand new experience to me to be able to go out and actually have it make me feel better. I've spent years telling doctors like, no, I've gone for a fucking walk, I've moved my body, I've exercised and waited for the dopamine. And guess what? Walking around some absolutely shit old fucking park, or some kids are letting off fireworks over there and someone's shagging in the bushes and there's just rubbish everywhere and clothes strewn about in random fucking parks. Like, it's grim. It is fucking grim. And it weren't making me feel better. So it is sort of also an adjustment period of realising that going out here, like every now and again I'll come across like some fly tipping or something that's not so pleasant, and it does make me a bit sad, I won't lie. But for the most part, it's rolling green fields and woodland and nature reserves, and it's gorgeous and it's beautiful, and it has such a positive impact on my mental health. And I really need to work. Like I have been going out, but I have like one little patch that's really close to my house that I like to go to, and that's like as far as I go. And I just think that it'll really benefit my mental health and just my perspective on things and the way that I feel. I think it'll just do me a world of good to get myself a little bit further afield and see a little bit more and find some new spots and so on and so forth. And I feel like I am massively rambling now, because I do rather... See, it's only 4 o'clock, so I am thinking I could go out on like a bit of a walk, you know? A bit, like not like a big walk, but it wouldn't have to be like a tiny walk. It could be like an hour and a half. Because I'm not in too much pain today and it's a gorgeous... Maybe I'll work it into this, to be fair. I normally get out of the house later and spend more time in town, so I'm not used to having this like I'd normally just about be getting home from town at this kind of time, because I'd normally like have pre-prepared a video. Or it feels like there's a lot of options open to me, and I feel like I can actually take them up today, because it's my little tradition day. It's not a day where I have to do the whole routine and I have to do all the things I'd usually do. It's tradition day. I can do what I want. I can do what I fancy. It opens me up to so many possibilities. And yeah, I do not make videos to offer you advice, because I'm not very clever. I'm certainly not trained to give anyone advice in anything whatsoever. I often really need advice from my friends to be able to improve my life in any way. Like, I'm really not a person to take advice from in the slightest. So I'm not offering this as advice at all. Like, it is just my experience and me being actually doing things and going outside makes me happier, and being able to frame it like this makes it just a more pleasant and less anxiety inducing and like genuinely fear inducing. Like, it's scary to do things outside of my routine quite often, and it makes me feel like there is something deeply wrong. Like, you know, when you go out and you're not sure if you've like turned your stove off or locked your door or something, like it feels like that the entire time that I don't do my routine. Doing something new, doing something out of place, doing something that I wouldn't usually do, it makes me very uncomfortable. And this is a way that like really takes away a lot of that discomfort and makes it into a genuinely fun and joyful, nice little part of my life that I really genuinely enjoy. So like, this isn't advice, but it's what I've been doing, and honestly, I'd recommend it. I'm enjoying quite a lot of life, and there's a whole host of it that's still very difficult and very hard. Like, I need to learn to like feed myself more regularly than one lunch once a month, but you know, it's we're making little tiny steps every single day, and sometimes there's a couple of steps in the wrong direction, but we come back to the right path, and you just gotta keep going, aren't you? And that's what I'm doing. And you know, it gets a hell of a lot easier when it gets easier. Like, I know that sounds like really obvious, but like, even like, there's been so many times that my life has been so much worse and so much more difficult that it's quite a lot easier to appreciate the nice things now, because they're so much fucking nicer than they used to be and all that. So I don't want anyone to like get down on yourselves and feel bad about yourselves because like you don't live near hills or you don't have this or that. Like, I've worked really hard to get myself into this position where I have the things that I like around me and I'm in a place that I like and all of that. It does take a lot of work, but you gotta keep taking the steps to get to this place, and then we keep taking steps to get to a better place, and eventually, I don't know, I can't tell the future, I'm not psychic. So that's the end of the video. Can't wait for in like 4 years time when I've created an entire career around me being a psychic, and then someone's like, well actually Dana, there's this one bit in this video that you posted 6 years ago where you said my storage ran out in the middle of, honestly, I think one of the funniest jokes I've told on this channel, and right when I was about to finish the video, so that's really fucking annoying actually. But we're gonna just finish up on webcam. Oh, you can see my legs. These are my legs. They are a very similar shade to the wall, aren't they? Very close. Anyway, I will have 2 GoFundMe links down below. One's for Seth, who's trying to afford accessible van for their partner so that their partner is able to travel and go to places, go to fun places, go to hospital appointments, the whole lot. They're often re-injured well they're not re-injured while transport, because that doesn't make sense. But I hope you know what I mean, because it's all I've got. And the other link will be to my friend Eric's GoFundMe to get top surgery. If you can have a little look at either of them, I'd really appreciate it. If you can share it, I would deeply appreciate it. And obviously, if you're able to donate, that would be like the most incredible thing of all. And I would deeply appreciate it. I love that we're able to help people within my community, and like I'd like to think that we're all part of the same community and that we can all help each other. I'm gonna fucking stop now because I'm gonna do some sort of weird hand signal, but whoever you are, wherever you are, if you're having a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.